Well, I guess it's time for an update on the cart. It's going great. I've hit, actually went over the initial oil. Well, I changed the oil when I got this. So this will be the second oil change or the first, depending on how you want to look at it. But the hour meters hit 6. So oil change for your first oil change is supposed to be 5 hours. And then after that, it says that you're supposed to change it every 10 hours. So anyhow, no problems. And we are going to take this. Let's see if I can get it in the image here. The oil plug is right here. There's a cutout for your wrench in this area right here. Let's see if we can't fly the camera in there a little bit better. You see it just kind of hanging down right there? Get my finger on it. I'm touching it right now. Okay, 19 millimeter wrench. Drop that out. All the oil comes out. So you need a bucket. Let's fly back out of here. Alright, there you go. Bucket down there. So I went to, I believe this is Walmart. And what they say is don't put in synthetic oil and don't put in detergent oil. Maybe it's the same thing, I don't know. Anyways, this is the crap that I found there. 5 quarts. According to the K7 manual, it came with this. It's 36 ounces of oil. So how I get this in there is I use a graduated cylinder with a funnel that I've dedicated to oil, so I wrote oil on it. And this jams down in from the top. Let's see what we can do here. I'm missing the whole works. You got to get it over there. I'm not gonna do it right here. I'll tune back in. But you push it in through this way. It's soft rubber. I recommend soft rubber or some other. Ow! Don't touch the muffler. Ah! It got hot just pulling it in the garage. Okay. No harm done. Alright, so this is where the oil goes in. And like I say, 38 ounces. Okay, that's it. So just updating. I'm going to drop that plug, drain the oil out, put the plug back in, take the cap out, put the funnel in, pour the oil into the cup, it'll fill it up. And then, it's so hard to hold a camera or a phone. Alright, it'll fill it up, and then I'm gonna have to put some more into it. And then some's gonna stick in the funnel because it's thick. So I'll probably put a couple or an extra ounce or two. And when you think you're done, then you go back to the dipstick here, and you clean it off, and then you put it in, and then you take it out, and you check the level. And it might take a minute or two for it all work its way into there, but you got to get it up into the well, your manual tells you how to do this. There's a hatch area, and you want your oil in the middle. I believe you want your oil in the middle. Maybe you want your oil at the top. I don't know. But I want mine at the middle. Okay? That's that. Alright, so I got the plug out. And look at that. More metal shavings in there. That's really disconcerting. But I suppose eventually they'll all end up in here and be good to go. Alright, so the oil is draining into the bucket. I believe there's a spring that goes above this, and I think it just fell into the bucket. But there we go. So I'll skip on to the next part here, I guess. Alright, so here we go. I cleaned the gunk out of the cap. There was, of course, some leftover metal shavings ended up in here, but the vast majority of the stuff that was in there was like Permatex or something that's come off, you know, from the manufacturing, which is like a rubber, like a glue maybe. So it was a mixture of stuff that was in there, which is interesting. I guess the engine's cleaning itself out, and it all ends up here in this little cap for us to dispose of. Be interesting to see if there's anything else in there after 10 hours. But there you go. I fished this spring out of the oil where it fell in my in the tub, the catch tub, and so now it's got to go back up, and then I'm going to take the funnel and plug it into the oil cap where you check it, and put in 38 ounces, fluid ounces of oil, and I'll check back later. Okay, oil change done, cap back on. I assume everybody knows what a dipstick looks like. There's a hash on it, and I got the oil to the middle part. It took about 38 ounces of oil. I seem to recall the first time I did this I put in about 40 ounces, but I'm also sloppy. So yeah, 36 is probably not enough. It touched the dipstick. I don't think that's sufficient where it's supposed to be. So I put in another 3 ounces and got it all the way up. So like I said, I used a graduated, it's not a graduated cylinder, I don't know what you call that, graduated something container, and 10W40, and a nice rubber funnel fits right in there, and the exhaust cooled off. It was no problem. Alright, so something else that I've done, and you can see this here. So that's the speedometer sensor. This gizmo right here, this is a magnet, and this would be a coil, I'm sure, that runs through the magnetic field and detects it and tells you how fast you're going around. Because this spins, this is the drive shaft, and this whole thing spins. So this magnet, if I can center it here, was kind of wobbly. It wasn't on here very good. And that screw that holds this thing on is like, what are you doing, Trailmaster? This looks like something that you get in, like, you know, a kit from Walmart to put a toilet paper roll on or something. I mean, it's a countersunk screw, and it's just a screw, and I've never seen one like this that wasn't a screw and not a bolt. Now, a bolt would mean that you would thread this, and you would have, you know, a square end on it, and the threads would be straight all the way down. This looks to me like a wood screw that is pointed on the end. Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent. So, as I was going down the road, it was okay when I got it, but it wasn't long before the speedometer started, like, just flashing just meaningless numbers, right? So I took some Loctite and I tried to tighten this screw, because this here was just a little loose. And after I tried to tighten it, and mind you, I didn't take this out because I'm really leery of this screw. It is so small. I could, if I tried to take it out, it could twist in half. I mean, you have to kind of see it and feel it and to understand. But anyways, I don't think I should take this out. So I put Loctite all over this, which is basically super glue. And then I lowered this down, I don't know how many turns. Let's see if I can. It was probably here where my finger is. Can I get it in there? No, there's too much stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. So it was probably, this nut was, instead of being here, it was probably down here. So this whole thing was up higher. So I lowered it probably 5 or 6 threads to get it closer to this magnet, and that has fixed my speedometer problem. from jumping around. It's still got quite a good range of play here. I don't know if I can push this forwards. Probably not. But anyway, so this is closer, and if your speedometer is wonky, try that. Just move the sensor just a little bit closer to the magnet. Make sure the magnet's not flopping around, you know, which mine was. Okay, so another thing, this thing came from the factory. I ordered one from Hammerhead, and they said it was for the Trailmaster 300X, and it's for like last year's model or something. They've changed the swing arms, so how this hooks up is different. This is like square, like straight this way, straight that way. The one that they sent me was like straight that way and 45 degree over here, so it didn't work. But I since just happened to come across the fact that Amazon sells these things for every car under the sun, and you can buy a pair of them. I mean, they start at like 20 bucks, but the ones I found, some that have 10 millimeter bolts, I think it's 128 millimeters long, and they're straight, but each in the middle it's adjustable, and it has lock nuts. It's like these, so it has an end and a lock nut and a center for adjustment, so you can, they come and they're adjustable from like 120 to like 150 or something like that. And so I'm gonna order some of those right now. I'm between paychecks, you know, like all Americans. It is an essential that I get this immediately, so it'll be here eventually, and I'll order a pair. So I'll set them to the same size as this and then change them both out. And the ones that you order look like they're way more robust than this. So, and now you might ask, well, why don't you just take that off and bang on it with a hammer or something? And I could do that, and it could break, and then I wouldn't have a buggy to ride. So I'd rather just buy a full set and replace them straight up. And there you go. So anyways, I think I showed the shovel mount that I used. Got it from Amazon. And let's see, what else can I think about? These tires seem to be wearing quite a bit for what they are. I see tires in the future. No luck on shocks. No other problems. No problems really. I'm happy to get this oil changed today. So, yay! I got oil all over everything, as you can see. I got cleanup to do. Well, I hope this is interesting to you. Okay, cheerio. All right, so the oil change is done. And I backed the buggy out of the garage, and I came back into the garage, and this was laying on the floor. And being as this is only the second time I've ever done this, I knew there was a screen somewhere. I thought it was up inside. It fell out, so I have to go and do the entire oil change again, because nothing I have is clean enough to like use this oil that I just put in there. So I'm just throwing away 2 quarts or whatever 38 ounces is. I think this goes on the top of the screw, or the spring, I mean. But I'm gonna my first step is to go and see whether this goes on the top of the spring or whether this goes on the bottom of the spring, because I do not remember. And since it's under spring tension, when you take that plug out, it just pops out. And it bounced off, rolled away, only to be discovered later. Okay, yay. Oil change fun. Alright, here we are. Oil change number 2. That's just great. Yeah, I love nothing more than just wasting a couple pints of oil. Anyways, this is what this is what it looks like when it actually goes in. It's got to go like this. I knew there was a screen. I thought maybe it was captive up in there. I couldn't remember. It's when you get old, your memory goes, man. It is so sad. So, anywho, I looked it up online. I didn't find this in any of the Trailmaster maintenance things or whatever. But I went. This is a Linhai engine, if I remember right, 276 cc. So I just Googled Linhai 276 engine oil change, and I found a parts manual for it's a snowmobile or some crap that they put these motors in everything. You know, they're probably in lawnmowers and everything else. Anyways, and it showed the screen being on top. I couldn't remember if it was on top or on bottom, or it goes on top. So all right, so hopefully you watched this video to this point so that you didn't make the mistake that I made and are doing it twice. So good luck, and I'm gonna stick this in, and I can't hold the phone and do it, so I'll be back. Alright, second go around, I went straight to 38 millimeter or 38 fluid ounces this time, and it's right dead in the middle of the dipstick. So skip what the manual says at 36. I think that's minimum. I managed to touch my finger to the exhaust, and it instantly blistered. When I looked at it immediately, it looked like that. It was like, ow, it hurt so bad. Time for some Bactine or Solar Cane or something. Oh man, I guess you can always wait for the exhaust to cool. But hey, this is the second go around in one day, so in a hurry, and now I pay for it. Alright, don't forget the screen. It bounced off and it rolled way underneath the cart, and I never saw it. And yeah, it goes on top of the spring, and that's all I got. Good luck. Hopefully this will save you my mistakes. Alright.